So, y'all remember that place I told you about? Yeah, well, we here. Okay, let's see what we can see. I don't know what I really walked into. I don't know. Yeah, oh, it's people back here. Okay, brief update. I am in the right place, number one. Number two, this is much like 4-star. This is a growing facility. One of the gentlemen who we saw in the back, he actually called the guy who either runs or owns this place. He's like 5 minutes away. He says he'll be here shortly. He's gonna give us a tour. Yeah, that's cool. And he was basically telling me the same thing. Like, we partner with grocery stores that are close to here. He said Pete's, Whole Foods, another small grocery store, but he should be here in a few minutes, so we're gonna get a tour. He's like, I know you see a lot of shipping containers, but that's because we grow in the shipping container. Okay, period. Don't put me up on game. This is new, this is different, so we're gonna see as soon as our mushy buddies get here. Yeah.
Said hardwood, and we put them on these felt homemade racks. These are the autoclaves. They get steamed in there for approximately 3-4 hours, you know. This is a homemade bag.
Oh, yep. All the necessary ingredients.
I got it. Yeah, just hardwood pellets. So we mix it in there. Goes up the auger, comes out the machine, goes in those bags right there, and we pre-designate how much water goes in based on the left side of the piping and the right side of the bag. That gives you an equal size bag every time.
Correct. I see the scale there too.
What?
The scale for weight.
Oh yeah, we do quality control testing. We don't do it every bag.
Okay.
Some people do it every bag, like I said. So these people are like, yeah, every bag's got it exactly the right amount. I'm like, if we're off by 10%, I'm gonna live with that and not worry about it.
Correct. You gotta focus on the output.
You can knock out bags out of that thing, just like foot pedal. You step on it, you can get like 10 bags a minute out of that thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like the hard part is folding. That's what takes the most time. We keep up with we do weigh-ins on that every time we do a new rack. We weigh a bag, make sure that the thing is operating properly, so we don't find out like 5 days later that the weight's been off and no one noticed.
Okay.
You know, trust me, that kind of thing happens. Those things pump in fresh air into through that wall. That wall is a clean room. That's a positive pressure room. Trying to get into this?
Yep.
That's why you're filming.
Yeah. So I have a YouTube channel where I am learning about the.
You still want to do this after leaving here?
I've already kind of started it, but I'm finding mushroom resources in Chicago. I'm getting into foraging right now and culinary, but I want to source it here. I want to find it here. I want to volunteer here. I've done it in other places, but I've just never done it here. So I need to do it here. And I'm kind of just documenting it all as I go along so that people can see, like, I'm just learning about this stuff. Yeah. I'm bringing y'all with me, and as I learn, you learn too.
You know a little bit about this stuff already.
A lot of it.
All right. Then I don't need to explain everything anymore.
Nope, explain it all. Teach me.
Well,
your way.
That's the cooked bags. These are the uncooked bags over here.
Okay.
Like I said, this room is positive pressure, so we keep it clean. Those are our flow hoods. We built them ourselves because, quite honestly, none of the commercial flow hoods, they're all very expensive and none of them are really that great.
Okay.
In my opinion. That's the automatic sealer. I don't know if they're making bags yet or not. Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. Sometimes we do Saturdays, we fall behind. When we foot sealer when those things break. We take them out of the wall. They mix the bags up. We put the bags on the shelves.
Okay.
So then they go into incubation in here. We call this the library. Only because after a while it started feeling like just rows of bookcases in here with stacks and everything. But you know, we've focused on 2 species primarily, which oyster and lion's mane. That's what we found the retailers want. And also, I mean, there's chefs that'll want as much exotic as you can give them.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, there's not a lot you can't do with these two. Oyster is very versatile.
Correct.
We make products out of oyster.
Do you have a specific type of oyster, whether it be yellow, black?
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah, we mainly do blue, brown, and white, which is elm, or
Okay.
Italian is the brown one. Right now, our retail, the people that we do retail with want blue. They want the consistency of that, which is really just gray. Who we kidding? But at the end of the day, I like the brown best, but we do a little bit of everything on that. But yeah, we focused more on the blue since the retail right now is about 75%, 80% of our business. Actually, maybe it's actually already 85%, geez. And that would make restaurants closer to, this month I think they were only 10%. They probably would have been 20% 6 months ago. And yeah, but that's declining as part of our share. We go through a distributor, we go through Euro USA. So they do all of our deliveries and they do all the billing for them. But then we mainly transferred our customers over. We built all the restaurants first, but then, anyways, you can see they incubate here in this room. And those don't look that good right there. Everything over here looks like colonized already.
Yeah.
And that's the same date. That's really weird. So they're both in 1220. These look like they're ready to rock right now after only after about 14 days. These guys they can use one. Anyway, that happens. We don't make our own grain spawn right now, but we're going to start.
Okay.
Lab going upstairs.
Okay.
The grain spawn, you can get a consistent supply. It's not the largest cost in the bag right now at all. But if you mess it up, you lose a whole bunch of bags. Now, as you can see, we don't have a lot of contam, so clearly our clean room is working.
Yeah.
I get annoyed when I see things like this broken, tilted shelf right there. I'm like, come on, guys. Come on. Just don't even put stuff open like that. Fix it first. But yeah, so everything's been stored in here. Air conditioning for the summertime, this doesn't keep up. Oh, we switch trains in the summer. It's really hard to keep this place cold.
Okay.
Yeah. So then this way, this is going to be our next row of grow rooms. This is the under construction set right here. Each of these will be climate controlled, holds about 500 bags.
Oh, double layers.
Yeah. That's why I love the shipping containers, is they stack like that.
Yeah.
You know? And there's still things that we have to do to make this work. We put drains underneath it. So that's why, that's how we can spray the floor on these things. There's holes in the bag and it goes to a central drain, which is easier than going down through the concrete.
Correct.
And plus, if you go 2 floors up, that's got to be like an actual construction, second floor, spec'd out, architecturally designed, thing. Shipping containers are considered removable equipment.
Correct.
Yep. Umbrella. Right here, this row, we do all of our lines, man. See here's stuff being packed for retail.
Okay.
Doesn't look that great today.
This looks like the same packaging that I've gotten from Whole Foods before.
That's our stuff.
Period. Yep. Yes. Exactly. Honestly.
Well, we got in Whole
Oh
Foods,
yeah, and oysters. Yeah.
With them.
Okay.
Right? So this is for Fresh Time, and for Pete's, we get our sticker on there. But we do for those guys, we do a white label with them. They got the national contract for Whole Foods, and then they went out of business.
Oh, okay.
Smallhold got $51 million in investment money in 2021 and blew through all of it.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, someone just give me 1/10 of that. 1/10 of that. Just give it to me. And I'm just like, but that's what happens. They always give the wrong people money. Always. So it's like, great. A bunch of fucking hipsters from Brooklyn. That's who got the money, those guys. And they said,
these look really good, though.
Are they good business people? Yeah.
Probably not, but these look really, really good, though.
Yeah, the oysters look good today. I'm not a fan of some of that lion's mane I'm seeing right there. It looks a little bit too, like the one in the back corner looks good, but some of the stuff looks a little poorly.
Like this one?
Yeah, exactly. I might have to talk to these guys.
This one looks really good, though.
Actually, I don't like the way that one looks. I like the little hair you get on that one right there. But I don't know.
Everybody has their preference, and I get it. I get it. When you are so...
The problem is actually they all end up cooking the same, right?
Yeah.
People get picky about the appearance of the retail product. And I'm like, it's going to taste the same when you cook it. Oh, we can go in there.
Oh, yeah. More grow bags there. More grow bags.
That's the ops room. Do a lot of scheduling there. But yeah, let's walk down in here. Each of these, of course, you got exhaust fans pumping the air, goes out the roof. That's each of these. Each one's got their own humidifier. This is the room being cleaned. That's always fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, if it was good, it would be harvested already today because we harvest in the mornings.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you got humidifiers rocking. You got good control in there. These little orange boxes up here, those are control systems. So anyway, we see some more lines made here. Yeah, this is something that could be created tomorrow, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can go in if you want.
I don't have any light.
I'm not gonna trap you in there. The lights are automated. We do 6 hours for the lion's mane. I can try it.
Oh yeah. I don't need to go all the way back. Boom! Let there be light. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Watch your step. Floor can be very slippery. We're working on a different material next time, but these floors are a little bit. Oh, I just saw your spikes in your shoes. Dang. That's
Yeah. That's so awesome. Thank you.
cool. No problem.
Oh yeah. And more grow rooms.
Go upstairs real quick. Basically more of the same. Bunch of stuff already harvested. It's going to go out there. But you can go that way and go to the oyster room and go back down. So yeah, I got oyster in here. I'm not sure which ones are being harvested. Probably harvested here.
Oh yes. Babies.
Yeah. These are second flush, looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah. This one got some real good bluing on it. Yeah.
What's up?
How many?
Flushes.
2 flushes. We cycle it for 3 weeks in the oyster form for the lions. Get you 2 harvests each.
Another question.
Oh yeah. They probably could have been took these. These are ready. These are almost ready, but these are like really.
We'll be ready tomorrow.
Come get me.
See, I don't have the time to go in every one of these rooms, but I wish they would have torn that out of there. But this, honestly, this room's probably going to get tossed somewhere around early next week. Yeah, I can already tell. Like, you can just, the bags look old.
Yeah.
You know, you start getting more blotch. You start getting more like, oh, that's not good. The little flies on that one.
Yeah.
You don't see, like, we don't have a large fly problem in general, but because usually, well, by the time you toss a room, it's hard for the flies to get from room to room.
Right.
So, like, you know, you're not gonna have 0, but like, my first facility before we moved here, everything of this different ages was in the same room. So a fly could always go from an old mushroom like that old bag to a new bag that just fruited and someone harvested and they forgot to get all the mushroom fruit out of it. So there was always something to move on to and eat in the next room.
Right.
So, you know, yeah, by the end of the cycle, the rooms always get a little bit more higher bacterial load, a little more blotch, and a little more potential for flies. But, you know, so then that room will be emptied. The substrate goes out the door. the room gets sprayed and cleaned, and all the piping gets cleaned out and redone.
Okay.
So instead of being meticulous about cleaning constantly, that cycling right there kind of just gets you the most out of it in the first flush you do, and then you dump the room.
Correct. You know, even though I went to a college that was an agricultural school before it became what it is now, learning about mushrooms just make you understand agriculture in a completely different way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like
we pack over here, but there's nobody packing, and we don't do as much packing on the weekends either. Mainly with the retail. We got one retailer that goes out on Sundays. So.
okay.
Yeah.
And so do you have like a quota that you aim for when it comes to, oh my God, this is huge.
Oh yeah.
Can I lift this?
This is oyster.
I know. Can I lift this?
Yeah, sure. The oyster that look good are all gone. The stuff that's left in there is the stuff that was stragglers. Nowhere near as good.
These are huge though.
Yeah, we get a nice size flush in that. And there's some more. That's a good looking.
Yeah, these look good too.
Yeah, like always when you go to the rooms, like you see the dregs.
Right.
Not the cream of the crop. Yeah.
Right. So.
These are huge. Awesome.
That's our mushroom farm.
Well, thank you so much for showing me around. This was awesome.
There's floor in here. Prove that we actually have more inventory. We got biggest orders come right before Christmas and right before Thanksgiving. So.
Yep. This is exactly
We're white labeling for that company right there.
Yes, this is so awesome.
Yeah, grown right here.
And this is the other one.
They sold the national contract, right? That's the umami blend. That's the national contract. Those probably were made on Thursday and they were excess. You guys didn't count right, so they just made extra.
Okay. And then what about the there's the other brand of mushrooms that's in Whole Foods, like the lobster mushrooms and the chanterelle? Oh, okay.
Neither of those two. Those are both. Lobster's really weird. Lobster apparently is a parasitical mushroom that grows on top of another mushroom.
Okay.
Right? So they're like, no one farms those. And same as chanterelles and morels, and what's the other one? Truffles.
Okay.
They all need a plant to grow symbiotically with.
Okay.
So basically they're only really done in the wild. And there's people that are trying to reproduce that process where you basically plant an orchard or a bunch of trees and you spray the roots with the spores.
Correct.
And then that can get you a truffle farm. But either way, it's all outdoors. It's more of a farm than it is a factory like we do.
Okay.
So, and of course, these are all wood-based mushrooms, whereas like the white button and the portobellos are all manure-based. So, So yeah, what we found is where we can grow well is the lion's mane and the oyster. Maitake is really difficult.
Okay. Because
they require really high control and sensitivity for humidity and temperature. So we'll have a shift over the course of a year here, but like they need like very dialed in numbers. And the other, we used to do black pearl, pinot, and chestnut, but as I'm saying, we found that they had less of a commercial appeal or less of a retail appeal. Chefs will buy it, but balancing that many species becomes hard because it's like this guy wants this and this guy wants just that, and they want this much of that. But if you do the rooms in a good rotation, like so that you're actually cleaning the rooms out, you got to have a minimum amount of production for each species just to keep the rotation going.
One of us taking a loss at the end of the day.
Right. So it's like, it became very complicated. We were like, if most of our demand is in these two species, we're just going to tell people we didn't follow that.
Yeah.
So,
Now you said that in the summertime when it gets too hot and you switch over to something else, what do you switch over to?
we switch oyster strains. Yeah. The lion's mane strain, the one we're using right now, we made it through both the summer and the winter. But we had one strain that was really weird. It would turn pink. Once it got warmer, they literally came out pink. And I was like, this looked weird.
Wait, why don't you guys do pink oyster mushrooms? Those are my favorite.
We do those in the... We only do those for limited... So in the summertime, we'll do a little bit of pink and a little bit of yellow.
Okay.
Or golden. But that was mainly, like, we would literally do... like one bag of grain spawn, which gives you like 30 bags for the week.
Correct.
Right? And that would just be enough to provide some variety for our farmers markets.
Okay.
But then this year we did farmers markets. We're not going to do it next year. So we're probably
It was
not
too
gonna do
much
pink. Well,
logistically, or
exactly. I mean, like
Okay.
we ended up this year. We ended up having we did the most farms ever, or most markets ever. We did like 8 to 10. We lost 2 in the middle of the season. Our guys would show up late, and then they kicked us out.
Aw.
Lincoln Park, Green City.
Yeah.
I hate those guys. So anyway, but that actually that also meant we didn't get the West Loop one. We didn't get the Wednesday daytime run. So we lost 3 markets in one thing. And those were one of the Lincoln Park one's always the best one. But basically, our conclusion was that the margins are good, but they're not as good in the smaller markets after you pay people to work for you.
Correct.
And unless the market's doing high volume. Right. So we had like 5 markets that were like break even at best, and then we had like 2 or 3 that were making money. We just decided that next year our demand is growing in a different direction. We have more retailers, so we're just not going to do the farmers market. And yeah, it was a lot of logistics and people like keeping track of how many mushrooms you gave everybody, how many we should give, so that they don't have excess, because you can't really bring it back.
Right.
That
Sitting
part.
out of the fridge, it's not gonna. You lose your shelf life at that point. So balancing all that just became like it was. We went into the summer with it being a big part of our plan. We entered the summer being like, we've got 4 major retailers and they take up a massive amount of product, and it all goes on one truckload.
Because every time I go into Whole Foods, the lion's mane is gone. The oysters are gone. So
They need to start reordering soon.
yeah, they do need to I mean, people are snatching them up. So I mean, there is a high demand.
Well, that's good to hear, because again, that's our stuff. So, like, there is a middleman in this scenario with Smallhold, and they're supposed to be managing the account, right? Like, we don't have a direct contact with them. But part of that job, because we do that with our other customers, like Fresh Time, is checking on the stores and actually seeing if the stores are reordering. And you can go to the produce manager and be like, we'd like to know why you're not reordering our product when your shelf's empty for 2 days. A lot of times these guys don't pay attention to it.
Okay.
They just don't care. So that's like part of managing retail that we never had to do before. We were just in restaurants. But yeah, like I said, that's not our job.
But that sounds
with
like
that
an easy
customer.
fix, to be honest.
I would agree, but it's also their job.
Correct.
If they make a margin on it, they need to put the money in the bank to go do that.
Correct.
Sometimes the stores, they have turnover of managers, people in the
Oh, yeah.
department. So
Well, what I don't understand is how it's not more computerized.
Correct.
Like a computer should just tell you, yeah, you're selling out of that product in 5 days. You need to order an extra case.
Correct.
You know, that's part of what we've learned. What we've also found, whenever you get into a retailer, like there's about a 3-month period where they each figure out how to get their ordering right. Like you'll see sales go up over 3 months because like people don't know it's there. They
Correct.
don't know it's there. They're not going back to buy it because they bought it last week or whatever. But then once they start buying it, you see the sales go up, and then hopefully you hit a balance there. But yeah, that's all part of just the business changed a lot in the last year. We went from mainly direct to restaurants, direct delivery ourselves, to now everything just going out by the truckload basically, and it's easier in some ways.
Have you ever thought about having like pop-up shops for
Yeah.
like some weeks? So like, let's say you are like, okay, we harvested a lot, but they only ordered this, they only took this. I can see that we're gonna have an excess of maybe like 100 containers. Hey guys, we're having a pop-up shop. Give people like a couple days notice, or like start. I don't know. Do you have them Instagram or like any social
We
media?
have an Instagram and
Okay.
website.
Yeah. So that like have pop-up shops where it's like, you guys can come pick up from this time to this time, or until supplies last. Get it while you can. Like Girl Scout cookie pop-ups, you know?
I hear you. It's not a bad idea. What we found is that our biggest issue, I'm here working on a Saturday for a reason. We don't have enough time to do everything
Correct.
that can work.
Correct.
So what we had to do was pick and choose where we focus our time. Now, in all honesty, a year ago, we were still at that point and we were losing money, and we had to be like, anything that we can do that might work, we'll throw it against the wall and see if it sticks.
Okay.
You know, and we tried online sales for a while. We were shipping over UPS, and like that actually works really well when the weather is good. Once it got to the summertime, we started getting enough times that people would be like, my product came and it was spoiled, and we're like, well, why'd you get 2-day shipping? You know,
Right.
but like in the summertime, we try to make it work with gel packs and stuff. But at the end of the day, when you look at the numbers, it's like, about break even. Like you're passing on the shipping costs. But then once you add in the shipping stuff to people that have already bought the product, but you send them a new product, like the rejection rate essentially, because then you got to resell, you got to spend money on packaging and shipping and all that stuff. It ended up being like very. I think we could have made it work. We could do it still, but we've got enough on our plate that it's just not worth it right now.
Correct.
And that's kind of the same with the farmers market. It's like, yeah, that can work, and we can do 20 next year, you know, and maybe that makes more sense. But it became a lot of running around. A lot of people need to get paid. A lot of people want you to deliver the product to them because they have to drive all the way down here. I'm just like, it was just a lot. That's where we are. This is our place.
Well, this was awesome. Thank you so much for teaching me and helping me learn. Could you give me the list of stores you said that?
Yeah, it's real quick. I mean, it's Pete's Fresh.
All locations or specific ones?
With Pete's, I'm pretty sure it's every location.
Okay.
Same with Fresh Time. And I think same with Whole Foods. Now there's Meijer. Meijer is I think 130 stores right now. Okay. But they're all in like Michigan.
That makes sense.
And I don't think any of the stores that and I don't think it's all their stores in Michigan. I think it's like 130 of the stores that they wanted it. Okay. So when we deliver, it goes all the way out to Lansing, and we don't do we haven't delivered to them. But yeah, I don't. There's a few Meijer in Chicago, but I don't think they carry it. Okay. So yeah. So mainly Pete's Fresh is great. Okay. They've got they have our oyster too, but they don't do the half-pound oyster case. They pack their own oyster and they put their own name on it, but it's our oyster. Okay. And then, but the Lion's Mane, they do it a little half-pound containers.
Okay. That's good to know. Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Have you ever thought about tinctures?
Yeah, we did tinctures.
So, oh, okay.
Yeah, we did tinctures. And, well, we were actually working with a guy, that's Rishi. We were working with a guy that was making the tinctures in Maryland. So he would get mushrooms from us, and then he would make the tincture out of it. Mm-hmm. But when we were basically white labeling his product, and we were selling it at the farmers markets. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it sold really well at the farmers markets. It also sold pretty decently online. We've got a cooked food product that we do. Okay. Called Fungitarian. Okay. And that we also sell to. We're trying to sell it into food. To schools, cafeterias, nursing homes, hospitals. Anywhere in that kind of like larger where you want a pre-cooked product. Mm-hmm. And that is something we spend a lot of time on. It's also in Fresh Time in their retail. Mm-hmm. It's going into Pete's Fresh in retail. Okay. And we're trying to get it into Whole Foods and a bunch of other places now too. Mm-hmm. Okay. We talked to Meijer about it next Thursday, I think it is. Yeah, next Thursday we'll talk with the Meijer about our frozen product. It's in a pouch right now, but we're looking to expand that to larger, like 4-pound cafeterias. They can just put it in one of their little, preheated little metal trays that they do. Yeah. So that's some of the that's what we decided to focus on. Because like I said, we got to pick and choose. You can't do everything. Correct. Right. And so instead of focusing as much on the medicinals, we've shifted towards the cooked product, because the excess stuff gets cooked and goes into that product. Right. Correct. You always got a little excess every week, right? Correct. So. Yeah, so basically, but he's still doing medicinals. We've grown reishi for people. We had an artist that wanted a bunch of reishi blocks to build a sculpture with. Like they then took the substrate, made it into a thing, and then the reishi mushrooms, all these. Then that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I thought these were like epoxy.
No, that's reishi. Yeah, they're crazy.
But like making art with it with epoxy. No, I thought that's kind of what this was a little bit.
I think one thing with a person in a chair, and they let the reishi grow out of the person. Because the person was made of like our the blocks. Right.
Okay.
We've also had just people that did, we've always said if someone wanted to custom order it, we would do it. Cordyceps are kind of hard, but he was a cordyceps specialist. He's still doing tinctures. We're getting out of that because we just, like I said, we just can't do everything. Yeah. And I think there's a good market for medicinals, but one of the biggest problems with it is the fact that a lot of people get their stuff from China. And they're just repackaging it. Right. There's no quality controls. There's no one saying how much of the active compound do I want by getting out of that. So, it's a whole bunch of chemicals for Lion's Mane that they're still trying to figure out which ones are the most important ones. Mm-hmm. But I know with cordyceps, it's cordycepin. Mm-hmm. No one's listing their cordycepin content or testing it and verifying that you're getting high quality product. Right. So it's like there's ways to dry things out. Like if you heat dry it, you're going to lose more of that product than if you freeze dry it. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's an incentive to do things and cut corners and cheat and give you a worse product and save money on the front end. And there's no way that the powders you're getting from China, they didn't just do it the cheap way.
Right.
That part.
So it's like, the problem with the pharmaceutical or the medicinal side is just there's not enough regulation and not enough quality control, and there's a ton of branding. People just spend their money on marketing. Like, I'll spend money on Amazon advertising so people buy my product, but do people even know if it's working or not? I mean, kind of hard to tell.
That's
right?
true. That's true.
So for me, one day, sure. Right now,
No.
they didn't have lion's mane in supermarkets 5 years ago.
At all.
Not at all. So now it's like we're not done with the supermarket industry.
It's literally just getting started.
Right. Exactly. Well, look, right now, it's Fresh Time and Whole Foods. Those are high-end stores. They're not cheap. But the fact that we're doing, and I'm not going to call Pete's cheap either. They're really strong in their produce section. It's gorgeous in there. But it wouldn't have been a demographic that I would have guessed it as well as it's doing. And they're doing more per store than Whole Foods. But I think part of that's management. It's like they've got a good team, and like I think their buyers are the guys that run their individual departments do a really good job in managing that.
Yeah.
But like the fact that we're in Meijer, I think was a little bit surprising because like we're talking about now way more mid-priced stores. Like, you know, I mean, Jewel's not as nice as Mariano's, right? But I'm seeing a world where we're going to get into the Jewels of the world too. We're not in Mariano's yet, but that's because they've both been trying to get bought out by a larger company, and they were all basically like purchasing freeze for the last year.
Well, I thought Kroger already owns them.
Well, Kroger was trying to buy. Kroger owns Mariano's.
Right.
Kroger was trying to buy Jewel.
Oh, they're trying to buy Jewel too. Oh.
And Jewel's got 200 stores, but Mariano's has about 20.
Right.
And but then, believe it or not, the Federal Trade Commission (FTC) has rules against someone coming in and owning all the supermarket stores in an area.
Oh,
like they actually enforce this.
Like there's no monopoly.
They're not going to let you monopolize it, right? Because otherwise you just jack the prices.
Right.
So basically, all the Mariano's are near Jewel's. They're like, you can't own both. You got to spin off the Mariano's or something like that. They spent like $100 million in legal bills on this over the last year, and they couldn't get a deal done. And it's crazy.
Yeah. Kroger buys them.
Right.
Like it's Kroger and Walmart. Like
Yeah.
I know. I mean, Kroger, I think regionally is massive out here in the Midwest.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I said they were going to buy out Jewel. It didn't happen. Now we're going to go knock on Jewel's door. It's January. That's a good time to start talking to people because it slows down.
Correct.
But like I said, there was a time when we were in no stores with these mushrooms, and the buyers didn't know the difference, and now there's a demand for them. So it's like, great. And especially Whole Foods is interesting in that they used to be the guys that were the early adopters of local brands and new brands. Not as much anymore. Now they kind of want like national brands.
Yeah, they're super corporate.
Right, now they're super corporate. So places like Fresh Time are trying to compete more with them and being like, we're going to be bigger with local brands.
Correct.
And we're hoping that a lot of other people shift their focus to doing that. And that's great for us because we're obviously a local, regional type thing as well.
That's real.
So, like I said, we're hoping just to keep growing with those guys. Try and get our cooked product in more places, more schools.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
You should try it too. It's a good product. Tastes good.
There's a school on the south side called Betty Shabazz, the National Charter School. They have a completely vegetarian-based menu at that school. So it's like everything is vegetarian-based. So,
yeah. And we gotta tap into that. We gotta play. I mean, like, I don't know how that works with most of the schools in Chicago. Now that's a charter, right?
It's a charter school.
We're talking to a charter school that's like, it's on like 44th up on like 44th and Pulaski, and it's like an academy or something other, and they're also big on this stuff too. And so we're trying to work with them. We haven't done like a big deal because we'll talk to these people. And there's in circles and circles. And there's 10 administrators, and there's the head of dining, and there's the head of dietitian, there's the head dietitian. It's just like, I don't know, but we're trying. And it just seems like all these places have a lot of bureaucracy, and unfortunately, often limited budgets.
Correct.
But some of the charter schools are better. Some of the universities are better. So we had a call 2 days ago with a guy that does frozen logistics, but because of that, they interact with a ton of these end buyers that they're working with, and they have some university contacts and pull for us. But sometimes, like I said, all of the Chicago public schools are run by two companies that do all the food. One is called Open Kitchens; they do 25% of all the schools. The other one is Airline.
Yeah, Airline's good.
And a lot of universities use Compass. Yes. Now we've talked to these guys, but like I said, we've given tours to school kids to try and be like, great, buy our product. They plan on they're planning right now. They're planning all of fall through spring of next year, so the budget gets approved next city council session. You know, I don't know if the guy that's doing the menu right now has ever heard of our name. Right. So it's a very, very difficult process to break into. And I think unfortunately it's always just like, right, great, yeah, put another Impossible Burger on the menu.
Right.
It's cheap, it's easy. Nah, I see, we haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
That would probably be like, I mean, I don't know if they want the fresh product or the frozen, but
Okay, sure.
But yeah, that's the thing. I think there's lots of opportunity for growth out there because the market's not saturated.
Yeah, correct.
It's just where do we want to spend our time looking for those customers? So right now it's the frozen product and continuing to do retail with the fresh because there's still places we're not in that are right down the street.
Right.
Yeah, correct.
So that's the plan.
I love it.
All right. Well, it sounds good to me. I will be looking. I will be waiting and expecting a lot.
Yeah, keep in touch.
Yeah, will do. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Yep, I'm Guy.
I feel like I kind of hit the holy grail. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know where Whole Foods get their mushroom from. Oh, pat myself on the back. This is what I mean. Do your research. Figure out where stuff comes from. And it's just in the city of Chicago, like, very accomplished, very satisfied, and it makes a lot of things make sense. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, comment, like, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Peace out.